Hello, Uncle Henry.
You're the voice of reason.
Hello, Uncle Henry.
Indescribable yet pleasing.
Hello, Uncle Henry.
What's the scoop today in your battle for truth, justice, and the American way? Home health and politics. Conspiracy theories or karate kicks. Intelligent discussions on the issues of the day. But tell them not to call unless they got something to say.
Hello, Uncle Henry.
What's the word for now?
Hello, Uncle Henry.
Can you tell me how?
Hello, Uncle Henry.
Will our team win? I guess it depends on what shape they're in. Home health or politics, conspiracy theories or cement bricks, intelligent discussions on the issues of the day. Tell them not to call unless they got something to say.
Hello, Uncle Henry.
Man, you're really cool.
Hello, Uncle Henry.
You ain't nobody's fool.
Hello, Uncle
You live by the golden rule. When there's a fiery discussion, you supply the fuel.
Hello, Uncle Henry.
Man, you're really hip.
Hello, Uncle Henry.
You don't take no lip.
Hello, Uncle Henry.
Man, you got it under control. If there's one thing you got, it's a lot of soul. On the thing we like about you, Uncle Henry, if you have a caller who's particularly pugnacious, quarrelsome, contentious,
From the Main Street Flooring and Design Traffic Center.
Watch for a crash with road blockage, Panhandle Trail at Timber Lane in Navarre. Also a crash with injury and road blockage, Mobile Highway at Softly Field Road in Pensacola. An accident north on I-65 between Cottage Hill Road and Airport Boulevard. That has the left lane blocked. With Time Saver Traffic, I'm Lisa Bakke.
This report is sponsored by the Crescent City Blues and Barbecue Festival. The Crescent City Blues and Barbecue Festival, October 10th through 12th in Lafayette Square Park. 3 days of delicious food, handmade crafts, and legendary blues from Devin Allman, Tab Benoit, Bobby Rush, and more. Free to the public. VIP passes at CrescentCityBluesFest.com.
If you see traffic trouble, call the Acadian Windows traffic tip line at pound 250, keyword total traffic when prompted. Acadian Windows, your hurricane protection specialists.
Now, your chance to win $1,000. Enter this nationwide keyword on our website. Cash. That's cash. Enter it now at newsradio710.com. The Uncle Henry Show. Weekday afternoons from 5 till 7.
Hey, Hank, this is Bill. Hank, if you and I go fishing, Hank, you can't wear that wig. That's out of the question. I don't want to see the wig on your head. I don't care if you're bald-headed, gray-headed, whatever, but you can't wear the wig.
Message deleted.
It says the Uncle Henry Show here on News Radio 710 WNTM. Thank you. I appreciate you listening to the Uncle Henry Show for whatever purpose. Whatever reason you're listening, doesn't matter to me. I just appreciate having the use of one of your ears for this time. And once again, here we are together, me and you, Just the two of us trying to figure out what is going on in the world around us. And what is going on? What's going on in the world around us? If you can tell me, 251-479-2723. In fact, if you want to bring something up on the program, as long as it's not pornographic, feel free to bring it up. 251-479-2723. That's 251-479-2723. Of course, I've got so many issues to get to here on the Uncle Henry Show, so many news items to get to on just about every level, local, state, national, international, interdimensional, spiritual. There's just intergalactic. It's all just so many things to get to on the program. And I've got voicemails from listeners. I've already got comments ready to go from people that had important thoughts during the weekend, and they shared them with me through the miracle, the modern technological miracle of audio reproduction, where I'm able to take something that somebody said previously and have it recorded, and then I can play it back to you digitally through the radio. Isn't it amazing, the technology we have? Now, before I get to any of these big news items, interesting news items, I just have a minor quibble. Yeah, I'll call it a quibble. You know, I didn't pay a lot of attention to the news over the weekend. I wanted to enjoy my life. So then on a Monday morning, I wake up in the morning, I want to find out, well, I wonder what happened in the news this weekend. I think I'll turn on the television news. That was probably my first mistake, is turn on a television. But I turn on the television, I said, well, let me take a look at the news here, see what happened. Because you never know. I mean, there was a war. We got Israel versus Gaza, and there's a peace offer. Maybe there was some progress. Who knows? Is that war still going on, or has it gotten worse or better? You got that going on. You got conflict all over the place, especially in this country. So I turn on the news. It's a Monday morning. Surely there's a lot to catch up on, so I turn on the news. The first thing I see that's presented to me as news, I tuned into a show that was a news show. The first thing that's presented to me when I turn on the news is that it's National Noodle Day. Yeah, nothing on there about war, nothing on there about all the fighting going on in this country, arguing. We got our government. You got Republicans and Democrats with the government shut down. You got all that. National Noodle Day. Yeah, and there's video of noodles, because some people might not know what a noodle is. Well, we're going to have some video of some spaghetti on there. So, and there's National Noodle Day coverage, and I thought, well, I guess eventually they'll get to some news. I walked out of the room where the TV was on. I took care of a chore or two, walked back in the room with the TV on, and there's still noodles on there. There's still noodles on there. I thought, what are you talking about? And I turned the sound up, and the people on the TV are saying, no, we'll have more. There'll be more on National Noodle Day later. So they're promoting the fact that there'll be more noodle talk. What happened? What happened to the news? Is there just, do they not have the budget to cover news? Because, as I said, there's people blowing each other up halfway across the world. You got people in Washington fighting each other over the government being shut down. You got all kind of conflict going on in Portland and Chicago, and just all kind of National Noodle Day. We'll have more on noodles later. Coming up. Next hour, more on noodles. What's happening? What is going on? Are the news people, are they simply providing people what they want? Am I the one that's weird that I want to know about, is the war over? Is the government shut down? Are they still fighting in Portland with the federal and the state authorities? Am I the one that's the weirdo? Is the rest of the world, they don't want to hear about all that mess. They say, what about my noodles? What about noodles? Is it Noodle Day? What's the most popular noodle in the country? Where do noodles come from? Who's got the biggest noodle? What's the proper, should it be a firm noodle or a limp noodle? What more can we learn about noodles? Am I the one that's the weirdo that I don't care about that stuff? Can't find news? Coming up next hour, more on National Noodle Day. Are we going to have to now categorize news to where there's a channel and a show for people that just want dumb stuff? Like, here, it's National Noodle Day. And guess what? There's a new movie coming out Friday that has animated noodles. We're going to have that? A channel and then there'll be a channel for people like me that we just want to see, is there still a war going on? We're going to have that now? Categorizing the news? And I'm trying to figure out, is it the tastes of modern America? Modern Americans, our attention span because of TikTok and stuff is so short. All we want to hear about is it's National Noodle Day, and is there a special deal somewhere on noodles? Is that all? Is that what it's done to our people? Or the attention span short and the narcissism dialed up to 11 now, to where people only care about their own self? Eventually, you're going to turn on the news, and it'll be a camera pointed at you, and it'll be something. It'll be artificial intelligence that tells you what you did yesterday and your impact. Your impact first on yourself, of course, and then on the neighborhood. That'll be the news in the future. 5-10 years from now, you'll tune into your channel. It'll be about you and your neighborhood, and then the rest of it'll be noodles. All right, look, I've got more to say after the break.
Time Saver Traffic from the Main Street Flooring and Design Traffic Center.
Watch for a crash with road blockage, Panhandle Trail at Timber Lane in Navarre. Also a crash with injury and road blockage, Mobile Highway at Softly Field Road in Pensacola. An accident north on I-65 between Cottage Hill Road and Airport Boulevard. That has the left lane blocked. With Time Saver Traffic, I'm Lisa Bakke.
This report is sponsored.
YouTube viewers, I see there's a small number of people looking at the program on YouTube. Hello to 68-year-old Chris of West Loxley. Metalhead is there. Bama Big Man. Richard Harvey, KP of shirtbutter.com. Art, it's National Propane Day. Is it really? You know what else it is? Art. It's also, let me pull up the list of stupid things. It's also a National Plus Size Appreciation Day. Now, is it fair for National Plus Size Appreciation Day to share the day with National Noodle Day? Do you even want to? They never mentioned the plus size when they were doing the noodle report today. Maybe they knew they would. Maybe they knew they needed to save that for some other segment. Didn't want to fight. Ben Griffin. Ben Griffin could be watching Alice reruns right now, just like Bert likes to watch Young Sheldon during this program. Thank you all. It's nice that y'all are all there chatting on YouTube about birds and things. I'm glad y'all are chatting about that stuff. And let's see, somebody wanting to, Bama Big Man, LD did call. Yes, that will be featured in the program. Many listeners of the Uncle Henry Show were very concerned about LD's wager. And so we will have more on the wager as the program moves forward. But yes, that will get mentioned on the Uncle Henry Show as we proceed. I do have Timmy Watkins. Hey, you were on, you talked about oyster season on, I might have saw that in between the noodle talk. All right, let's see. Back on the radio here in about a minute. I've already spoiled the surprise of it being World Noodle Day or National Noodle Day. It's also World Architecture Day. But I think that's a little too highbrow for local TV news to talk about world architecture. It's also National Coaches Day. All right, back on the radio in a moment.
Breaks in this, but as you're going out and about on your Monday, you may occasionally run into some rain here, so make sure you have an umbrella and some rain gear with you. Highs will be in the mid-80s. I'm Fox 2 News meteorologist Matt Barron for this iHeart radio station.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radios.
Stay connected and stay productive with Rapid Radios. Business owners trust Rapid Radios for instant, reliable team communication with nationwide LTE coverage, push-to-talk convenience, and room for up to 200 units on one feed. Keeping connected's never been easier.
Order now at rapidradios.com.
News? Check. Traffic and weather? Check. Opinions? Check. This is the Uncle Henry Show, only on News Radio 710 WNTM.
The Uncle Henry Show proceeding forward. It is 5:20. News headlines coming up in 10 minutes from Fox 10 and from Fox Radio National News. Telephone number 251-479-2723. That's 251-479-2723. Hello, caller.
Hey, good evening, again.
Cliff, you are live on the radio.
Okay, Henry, I was just listening at the one of the Chicago police chiefs or sergeants trying to lie his way out of that communique that told those policemen to not help the ICE agents.
Yes.
And, stand down, and he's backtracking and trying to put it on some other folk. But, again, this reminds me of when Donald Trump first ran for office, he started tweeting. And one of the MSNBC or CNN spokesperson said she was outraged. She says, Donald Trump shouldn't be tweeting. It's up to us to tell the American people what to think. She was so irate that she said it like that. And what we got going on here in this country surely reminds me of Hamas. On my way to Afghanistan over there with Halliburton, we had to read the Quran so we could try to keep ourselves out of trouble. One of the biggest things with the Islamic and the Muslim, the jihadists and all of these people, in the Quran it states it's okay to lie to the infidel to further the cause. So they can put their hand on the Bible or whatever, and they lie to the public and to the people over in this country. And I mean, it's nothing to them. That's what they're supposed to do. It's in the Quran. Now, Democrats are taking up the same playbook as Hamas. Do you see everybody on television, Uncle Henry, saying now that the Republicans say we want to give Medicaid to the illegals? That's a lie.
Yep.
Do you remember when they all was running for the Democrats? All the Democrats was up there. They was running for a spot to run for president. I think it was 8 of them up there. And the commentator asked him, he said, okay, who wants to give illegal aliens, they was having a debate, who wants to give illegal aliens free health care? Every Democrat up there held their hands up.
Yes.
It's okay to lie to the infidels. They don't care who they get hurt. They don't care who die. We don't have any crime. People in Chicago, again, this weekend, there's no crime. 27 people got hit. 4 people died. They do not care, just like Hamas. Hamas have killed some children and blame it on Israel. Democrat Party don't care who George Soros is paying these people in the street, inconveniencing all of these innocent people by what they're doing. They do not care who they hurt. They do not care who they inconvenience. They do not care who died. The Democrats are coming out showing their true ticket, man. These people are bat crap crazy. You have the best day, Uncle Henry.
Cliff, thank you very much for your phone call. And you have blessed the program with it. And yes, I remember that the scene you're talking about. I was one of the people watching live when they raised their hand to pledge to give health care to the illegal aliens. I also remember Gavin Newsom holding a press conference. I can't remember how long ago it was, maybe a couple of years, but Gavin Newsom out in California proudly declaring that they were going to be giving health care to all the illegals that came into California. So not imaginary. It is not an imaginary idea that just popped up. 251-479-2723, the telephone number here on the Uncle Henry Show. Hello, caller.
Hi.
Hey, you are live on the radio.
Hey, did you know today's National Noodle Day?
Yes, today is National Noodle Day. I saw that on the news this morning.
Yeah, it's also National Plus Size Appreciation Day.
Oh, it is? It's National Plus Size Appreciation Day today?
Yeah, of course, in your house, that's called Mother's Day.
Would you stop that, you sick freak? Who's paying you? Who's paying you? I want to know. I want to know who is paying that creature to call the program and say horrible things about my family. And by the way, if you are plus size, just because I said that was a horrible thing to say about my family, don't take that as any kind of reflection on the appreciation that we all should show you on Plus Size Appreciation Day. It's the fact that my family's being lied about, not the fact that they could hypothetically, maybe in another alternate universe, be plus size, even though they're not. 251-479-2723, the telephone number to call on the Uncle Henry Show. That's 251-479-2723. Email address, unclehenry@iheartmedia.com. Isn't it sad that there are people out there like that last caller? We had a great call from Cliff that was thought-provoking, causing the listener to listen to Cliff and think to themselves, do I agree with Cliff or not? What does Cliff say? It's terrible that a great call by Cliff would be followed up by that kind of a demonic type of call. That kind of a call devoid of love for humanity, like that call that came in. You know, it just it reminds me, I saw another thing in the news today about Halloween. You know, I'd noticed that so many yards in Midtown are just all, I mean, the amount of Halloween decorations is astonishing. It really, I saw one guy, there's a guy that lives near the Cannon. Oh, well, I say a guy, a family perhaps, near the Cannon, that they've got these really elaborate dragons now out in their yard. Had to cost a lot of money. And I saw a stat today. The stat claimed that 80% of American adults, 80% of, not children, 80% of adults plan to celebrate Halloween in this country. with the average family spending over $400. Now think about that. This used to be, years ago, the only people that celebrated Halloween were under the age of 12, and it was mostly dressing in a costume to get candy. And that was it. And now here we are in 2025. 80% of grown-ups are celebrating, and they're getting lit, they're getting drunk, they're partying. 80% of adults celebrating Halloween. I think we're about 10 to 15 years away from people looking for babysitters on Halloween night so they can put their kids with a babysitter so the adults can go out and just be like a bunch of pagans going out and taking part in some type of Babylonian-style ritual. It's sick!
From the Spring Hill Toyota Traffic Center.
Watch for a crash with road blockage at Miramar Beach, East Bradley Street, just east of Driftwood Road. Also, a crash on westbound Highway 90 at Bellevue Avenue in Pensacola. Very slow north on I-65. From I-10 to 165, it's an 18-minute drive. With Time Saver Traffic, I'm Lisa Bakke.
This report is sponsored by the Crescent City Blues and Barbecue Festival. The Crescent City Blues and Barbecue Festival, October 10th through 12th in Lafayette Square Park. 3 days of delicious food, handmade crafts, and legendary blues from Devin Allman, Tab Benoit, Bobby Rush, and more. Free to the public. VIP passes at CrescentCityBluesFest.com.
Hello, I'm Cameron Taylor with Fox 10 News. Police say a shooting on Saturday at Celebrity Lounge on Navco Road in Mobile left one person dead and 4 others injured. Police say they responded to the business and found a man dead in the parking lot. They identified him as 56-year-old Roderick Williams. Now we're told 4 others were also shot, with 3 men and a woman taken to a hospital for treatment. Police say they are expected to live. Investigators say the building and a car were also shot by gunfire. Police say they turned over their findings to the Mobile County DA's office. A 3-year-old girl allegedly kidnapped by her mother in Orange Beach is finally home. Investigators found Keone in Mexico last week. Her mother, Haley Harris, now facing international parental kidnapping charges. The Mexican government refused to release the child to U.S. authorities until recently. Congressman Barry Moore helped to bring her home. Congressman Moore says other agencies warned it could take months to get Keone back, but after urgent talks and coordination, she was reunited with her family in just hours. Well, those looking to start the 2025 oyster harvesting season off right were met with less than friendly conditions. Double red flags are flying to start the week and the 2025 oyster harvesting season. It was a successful 58 days last year that saw over $1.5 million worth of oysters harvested, but those oysters will just have to wait. I'm Cameron Taylor with Fox 10 News on this iHeartRadio station.
This is News Radio 710 WNTM.
Fox News, I'm John Saucier. Illinois suing the Trump administration after it authorized the deployment of 300 National Guard troops to the state. The Trump administration is also ordering 200 troops from Texas to join them. Chicago's Mayor Brandon Johnson says the deployment will negatively affect the local economy and strain the city's police department.
It will also have a chilling effect on economic activity in Chicago, as we have seen in other jurisdictions where the president deployed the Guard.
President Trump, are you going to invoke the Insurrection Act?
Well, I'd do it if it was necessary. So far, it hasn't been necessary, but we have an Insurrection Act for a reason. If I had to enact it, I'd do that. If people were being killed and courts were holding us up, or governors or mayors were holding us up, sure, I'd do that.
This law allows the president to deploy militia in any state to suppress obstruction of the law. America's listening to Fox News.
Joe Bullard.
YouTube viewers, thank you for looking here on the program. Let's see a small number of people looking at the program. Hello to Bama Big Man, Metalhead, Art, Richard Harvey. The Multi-Fandom Girly, 678. Becky Lockwood, Sharon of Fairhope, thank you all for looking in on the program. Pat Nelly, God bless you. Pat Nelly really has become a favorite among the other people in the chat room. Now, let's see. What can I tell you about while waiting to go back on the radio? Is there anything? I believe I did. I saw weird news today that was nasty. So I don't want to tell you about the nasty stuff I saw. Let me see what there's any non-nasty weird news. Let's see, in Florida, Leon County, a sheriff's deputy saw a man pumping gas the officer drove up, hopped out of his SUV. The officer drew a gun at a man and asked him to show his hands, and the man complied. And the man was asked, "What are you doing?" He said he was filling up gas cans. And the officer said, "You understand you're holding the gas pump nozzle like a pistol, right?" So the deputy thought the man was holding a gun when he was just holding the nozzle from the gas pump. They said they're going to use this to train other deputies so that the other deputies don't mistake gas pump nozzles as guns. The man didn't get in trouble. He just got a gun pointed at him.
You can find out more at mobileso.com/yellow dot. That's mobileso.com/yellow dot.
It is 5:35. Uncle Henry Show. You can also hear me on FM radio. I'm on 95 KSJ, playing today's hottest country every weekday, Monday through Friday, between 10 and 2. Now, tomorrow, I'll have your chance to win some concert tickets right around 11:15 in the morning. Now, I can't tell you what concert those tickets are to because the concert has not been announced yet. The concert will be announced tomorrow morning. And then after the concert announcement, I will have your first chance to win tickets at 11:15 tomorrow here on 95 KSJ. Now, I'll tell you that the concert is a very prominent country act of the last several years, a very popular act coming to the Gulf Coast. Your first chance to win tickets tomorrow at 11:15 with me on 95 KSJ. Telephone number here, 251-479-2723. That's 251-479-2723. Email address, unclehenry@iheartmedia.com. So, this past Friday, got a voicemail from LD the Mad Trucker where he talked about placing a wager on the Alabama-Vanderbilt game. Here is the call where LD described the wager.
Hey, Uncle Henry, LD, retired LD. Well, I'm pulling the trigger, Uncle Henry. I am pulling the trigger! 1,150 clams. Standing up here right now at the casino, getting ready to walk in and put it in there. I'm gonna put $1,150 on Alabama minus 10.5. 100? No, my God, 1,150 clams, baby. 1,150 clams minus 10.5. Can they do it? Man, I sure hope so.
All right, so that was the wager. Many Uncle Henry Show listeners were wondering, would LD be victorious? Now, Alabama beat Vanderbilt, it was beautiful, wonderful to see. Wonderful to see Alabama beat Vanderbilt. And I believe that LD was victorious with his wager. Here is LD calling in after the Vanderbilt game.
Hey, Uncle Henry, LD. The clams are falling out of the sky. The mad trucker made a good bet, and tonight he will collect. Roll Tide, roll, baby. Roll Tide, roll, baby. Roll Tide, roll, baby. 1,150 clams in my bank account. Now, what can I do next week? What can the mad trucker do next week? Well, we could let the clams ride, or we could take some of the profit and move the clams around. Let's move the clams around. Let's take Auburn next week and Alabama. Let's see what the mad trucker can do, because even at retirement, I'm still making cash.
All right, so the matter, you heard it there. Now, see, this is the thing with gambling. He could stop. He could just walk away and use the clams, to use his slang term, for cash. He could use his clams for the betterment of his family and perhaps donate it to various charitable. There's all kind of charitable efforts going on here on the Gulf Coast. But no, we didn't hear anything about the betterment of the family or helping charitable efforts on the Gulf Coast. We heard about putting the clams into more wagering. This is one of the problems we have with gambling. Is it just there's never just the basic I've won and now let's all live happily ever after. No, we have more talk of betting clams again. But there were people calling in about that bet.
Roll Tide, roll, Uncle, and take that, Mr. Pavia.
Mr. Pavia, by the way, the quarterback, if you were not watching the game or if you don't care at all, Vanderbilt has a quarterback that's pretty good, Mr. Pavia, who is, I think for college football quarterbacks, I think he's kind of elderly. I think he's pretty much fully grown dude, to use another slang term.
Roll Tide, roll, Uncle, and take that, Mr. Pavia. I like to grab my private parts in public and talk a lot of talk.
Yes, and that did happen. The quarterback for Vanderbilt did grab his private area in public, setting a terrible example. Setting a terrible example for all of the youth that focus in on sport.
Son, as Barry used to say, act like you've been there before. Or as Andy Griffith would say, act like you got some smart. That's what happens when you run into the mighty Crimson Tide. Roll Tide, roll, Uncle.
All right. 68-year-old Chris of West Oxley, thank you for your voicemail. The voice phone number 251-216-1976. That's 251-216-1976 to leave a message for the Uncle Henry Show voicemail.
Well, Uncle Henry, Sunday morning, fixing to go in here and cook some late breakfast. Looks like old LD pulled it off. He's going to be $1,100 richer. I was beginning to wonder if Alabama was going to beat that 10.5 point spread, but they did in true Alabama fashion. Roll Tide, roll.
All right, sir. Roll Tide, roll to you too. Thank you very much. Now, speaking of the opposing quarterback, now trash talk, not a new phenomenon in human history. Not at all. But this going at this level, when you're on national television, and you're going to be doing this kind of trash talk where you're going to grab your private area, an area of the body that we should never really talk about. I mean, it's something that we should never even have conversations about that area unless it's between you and a medical professional. I mean, there should be no discussions of that area, let alone the grabbing of that area in a public way. What is the mindset that would do this now when you know you're on national television and it's going to be talked about? You know, this guy, this quarterback that is I don't know how old he is, 28 years old, 29, or whatever his age is, one of the older college quarterbacks. You know, whatever happens in his career, this is going to be something people bring up now. You know, 10, 15 years from now, some college football fans are going to be talking about Vanderbilt or Vanderbilt, Alabama, and they're going to say, "Hey, you remember when that guy grabbed his? You know what? This is going to follow him around for years and years, possibly the rest of his life. In fact, if he doesn't become a huge success coming out of college or with the rest of his college career, this will be one of the top things he's known for. It'll be. They'll bring him up, and they'll say, oh, yeah, he played pretty good for a couple of years, and remember that time he grabbed that part of his body? The Alabama game? Whatever coaching they're giving the players on how to behave in modern society, they need to update it and do a little bit better job of it. Because this is just, again, a terrible thing for him, his legacy, and for Vanderbilt. Because Vanderbilt used to be known as, this is a school where the players, they can't win a lot because they're so smart. They're not winning as much because they're so book smart, they don't have time for that football focus. Now Vanderbilt known for winning some football games and grabbing their crotches. There's more to yes, there's even more Uncle Henry Show after the break here on News Radio 710.
710 Time Saver Traffic from the Main Street Flooring and Design Traffic Center.
In Navarre, watch for an accident with road blockage, Panhandle Trail at Timber Lane. Also, congestion on southbound Highway 59 from I-10 to Gulf Shores, 53-minute drive. Traveling north on Highway 31 from Spanish Fort to Highway 59, it's a 17-minute drive. With Time Saver Traffic, I'm Lisa Baque.
This report is sponsored by Robert Half at Robert.
YouTube viewers, if there's anybody left on YouTube, going to be back on the radio here in just a few moments. Thank you. By the way, thank you for looking in on YouTube. And thank you to those that did subscribe. Bambi Big Man, 68-year-old Chris, Ben Griffin, Pat Nelly. Richard Harvey, thank you to you chatters. The multi-fandom girly asking, when will I give away wrestling tickets? I have not yet given away wrestling tickets, but I will give them away when I'm told to by my bosses. Last week on KSJ, I was giving away tickets to a corn maze. So it could happen. It could happen. You know, I occasionally drive past the I forget what it's called, the Bullet Bob Armstrong Memorial something out in Irvington. Richard Harvey, thank you. Make It Stick is in the house. All right, Make It Stick. Y'all, I guess y'all can click on the Make It Stick and find his YouTube. Here, I've got it, and I can put it in the chat myself. Subscribe to the Make It Stick channel. Now, Ben Griffin, I did enjoy my time off this weekend as well. Thank you. I assumed your question went to all of us. I think I enjoyed mine too. I went to lunch Saturday and was shocked that when we went in to Butch Cassidy's, we were told that coming up in like 15 minutes, there's going to be belly dancing. And it was to raise money for Penelope House. I've never heard of impromptu belly dancing at restaurants to raise money for charity, but that's what we saw. All right, let's see. What can I tell you about? Going to be back on the radio in about a minute. MIT. What are they up to? MIT researchers claim they have developed a concrete material that can act as a battery and store and release electrical energy. They say that it would take 5 cubic meters, the size of a basement wall roughly, to power the average home for a day using power stored in this concrete. It seems like there's been a lot of innovation in battery technology in the last couple of years. Eventually, then electric cars will become affordable.
You always have a place at MAD. Call our 24-hour victim helpline at 877-MAD-HELP or visit mad.org.
Available everywhere with the iHeartRadio app. Now #1 for podcasting. This is News Radio 710 WNTM, an iHeartRadio station.
This is the Uncle Henry Show. It's 5:50. News headlines coming up in 10 minutes. Telephone number if you want to call in with something. Is there something you want to tell me? 251-479-2723. That's 251-479-2723. Email address unclehenry@iheartmedia.com. See, I do have a message. Another voicemail has arrived for the Uncle Henry Show.
Hey, Uncle Henry, State Trapper. Hey, man, I just want to come out and say this. I love President Trump. You know, and people seem to ask him, why are you bringing up 2016? Why are you pushing to have people prosecuted? Now, why can't you just let it go? Uncle Henry, if you'll remember, after he was elected, he did let it go. He said, I had all the goods on Hillary Clinton. Could have had her put away for life. But I thought, no, I'm not going to do this to a ex-Secretary of State or ex-presidential wife. I let it go. He said, but look what happened to me in the Biden years. He said, man, they've indicted me, 180 times? It was a lot. I don't remember how many, but it was a lot. They didn't let it go, Uncle Henry. He has no choice but to stand up and fight. And he needs to have them all indicted. And hey, I believe me and you had an ongoing bet about will anybody be held accountable on some kind of turtle cook-off. Well, Jim Comey got indicted, Uncle Henry. But I mean,
and still, now I'm with you. I think Comey has done more than what he's been indicted for. There's a lot out there that we can all see if people choose to go find it. There would be indictable stuff, but I believe that they have figured out how to avoid a conviction. But I hope I'm wrong, Snake Trevor. I hope I'm wrong.
I'm not going to hold you to that cooking you some turtle on just James Comey. It's going to be a bunch more of them, Uncle Henry. So, yeah, man, the dice are starting to roll and people are starting to fall. So I guess I'll have to cook some turtle for you and Sheriff Lombard or Darwin Singleton or anybody, Uncle Henry. I remember the bet. I don't quite remember how it went, but I know you didn't think they were going to be held accountable. But, yes, sir, when the dice start to fall, we'll get us some turtle and I'll cook it for whoever you want to. But, yeah, they leave him no choice but to fight, Uncle Henry. I mean, he tried to let it go, but it just wouldn't happen. All right, buddy. I'll be looking for some turtle. You take care, my buddy.
All right, Snake Trapper, thank you. I'm really, and again, I would like to see people be held accountable, but I'm not going to hold my breath on it. I'm not going to hold my breath on it, especially at that level. I think that when up to no good at that level, that the people up to no good are very skilled at creating situations they can use for reasonable doubt. And but we'll see. We'll see. I hope I'm wrong. Now, and as far as you cooking turtle, you have been telling me now for several years about how magnificent turtle is. And so I have not had turtle. I don't think I've ever eaten turtle. And I'm going to allow you to be my first experience. When you prepare turtle, it will be the first experience. You have the responsibility of telling me and teaching me as to whether turtle is good or not. So if you prepare turtle for me and it's distasteful, I will never have it again. But if you prepare good turtle for me, then I guess the turtles of the world would be very sad because I'll be coming after them. So we'll find out together, Snake Trapper. Anyway, look, almost out of time for this hour of Uncle Henry Show. Now, coming up, we have Fox News headlines at 6 o'clock, and then there is more Uncle Henry Show. Coming up after the news at 6 o'clock, I'm going to talk to Lydia Barber. She is the organizer of the Out of the Darkness Walk that's happening this Sunday in Daphne at 1 in the afternoon. Now, I am going to Daphne this Sunday afternoon with my wife to participate and walk in the Out of Darkness Walk. The Out of Darkness Walk is an event to help raise money for suicide prevention. And we formed a team. My wife and I have formed a team. We've got a few people that are going to try and walk with us. If you feel like you would like to donate to this cause, there is a link. I've got that post pinned to the top of the Uncle Henry Show Facebook page. If you want to find out why we're doing it, this is about my wife's father. He took his life back when my wife was 9 years old. And it's really, it's when people take their own lives, it really does create tremendous trauma for the people around them that love them. And we want to try and prevent that in as many families as we can. So if you feel like donating, that link on the Uncle Henry Show page, pinned to the top of the page. We're going to talk about that walk coming up in the next segment of the show.
Securing America.
The U.S. military intercepted and destroyed a narcotics trafficking boat off of the coast of Venezuela Friday.
YouTube viewers, turning off the camera for the rest of the show. You can listen to the rest of the show on News Radio 710 WNTM or on the iHeartRadio app. I'll be back here on YouTube, equipment willing, tomorrow at the regular time. Have a pleasant evening and a pleasant tomorrow.
Vessel was trafficking narcotics. The people on board were narco-terrorists. He continued writing, quote, "The strikes will continue until the attacks on the American people are over." Levitt says this is what the president pledged during last year's campaign when he promised to end the drug epidemic.
That has taken far too many American lives, and you're seeing those actions play out.
The administration says 4 narco-terrorists were killed in Friday's strike. Kevin Uretsky, Fox News.
Only one app puts the live radio dial in your pocket
and lets you save your favorite stations, playlists, and podcasts as presets.
iHeartRadio is your all-access pass to the audio